ShinRobjira.
Today we are going to be talking about the Street Sharks Wave 2 30th Anniversary Celebration figures, Streex, Big Slammu, and Dr. Piranoid. Streex will be standing at slightly over 5 inches tall. Big Slammu, as his name entails, will be standing over 5 inches tall. And Dr. Piranoid as well will be standing at over 5 inches tall. I think I'm going to start off with Dr. Luther Paradigm first. Yep, not gonna lie, Dr. Piranoid is without a doubt the most impressive figure of the wave. At least until you shut your eyes and try to imagine real hard this dude half fish, half naked, cowering in the corner. Oh wait, you don't need to do that. So let's start with his screaming mad George looking head. Dr. Piranoid is sporting a lot of wrinkles, and yes, that is a seashell for an eye patch. This toy line was above and beyond. Beautiful wrinkling detail on his face, a very inquisitive and angry brow going on here. Very good in general. I mean, individually sculpted teeth. The gums aren't painted, and his tongue and inside of his mouth is black, but he is a mutant piranha scientist guy, so yeah, overall the detailing on this head is fantastic. And yes, that's right, I said this head because I do kind of have to skip ahead and click this here button, because when you do, the Dr. Piranoid head is rather monstrous looking, and every time I look at his teeth, I'm reminded to weatherproof my back porch. Man's got bigger teeth than Gary Busey.
Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does.
But just to show it on camera, hit that button, and the heads will switch. So over here, we're not going to get as much detail going on, but the overall appearance of this is just so cool and so out there and so weird. And now you know why his name is Dr. Piranoid. Because if you couldn't tell, that's a humanoid piranha head right there. Seashell still attached. Oh yeah, there's a gimmick spoiler for you. Let's return to paint and detail. This super high-tech looking diving suit is communicated and dressed rather well, save for that spooch. The detailing is very nice, and when adorned with some metallic paints on the shoulders and on the I guess that's the tibial region, it really does shine something fierce, and just the overall color of the armored or diving suit, whatever have you, is just really nice and eye-catching. Very 90s. Such lovely things will be happening on the back of the figure as well. Not too much paint, save for the shoulder blades over here, but I love that it's got the little fin up there, got a whole bunch of hoodads and hoosers and tubes and whatever have yous. And I don't mean to spoil yet another, not gimmick, but articulation this go around, but yeah, the detail continues pretty high up to the point where if you crunch him as far forward as you can, it's not going to fully break the illusion. Yes, this thing has a ball-jointed torso, what? But moving on from this area, we've got more of the suit. We've got a nice butt zipper with butt zipper detailing. I like it. The overall texturing of the suit over here does look like it's replicating that of a wetsuit, that meshy looking material that's not exactly mesh but feels nice. And it's cool to see details such as straps and buckles over here holding the armor on. Whereas when you move to the front, you're going to see mostly the smoothed and muscular looking armor kind of taking place of everything else. I really like that when you move his legs over here, you can see more of that material with chains painted on them, of course. You have to. This dude's got a gigantic zipper running down right to his sack, and it looks cool. And now let's take a look at the arm over here. I mean, whoo-fa. Wires and stuff running down from his shoulder blade to his bicep into this I know what you did last summer 2000 looking friggin' meat hook. Is a fishing hook. I don't care, but look at the detailing on this arm. I love it. I love how just so simply varied this figure is, from the front to the sides all the way to the back. It's just got such a presence to it. I love it, I love it. Bro's sporting an arm cannon like a space pirate from Metroid Prime. Lots of little detailings going on here, even on this whole tube going on. Wow, this looks awesome. And wouldn't you know it, it's going on the opposing side as well. They positively cooked for Dr. Piranoid, and seeing this gentleman brought back with such love and grace really makes me hope that they're going to do a Power Bite Piranoid eventually. Power Bite Piranoid is essentially him in a mecha shark shark suit. His helmet is a giant mouth, and it's badass in metal. Speaking of which, I am going to give this lovely gentleman a solid star in terms of paint and detail. I love it, and I might as well just include another solid star for his gimmick because I already had to show it off. Onwards to Big Slammu. Ooh, my guy, look at him, big and swole, making his brothers look tiny. Big Slammu over here, or Coop Bolton before he got gene smashed into a whale shark human hybrid, is the strongest yet the youngest of the Street Sharks brothers, and originally at Toy Fair, when these things were first coming out, his original name was Boomer.
This is Boomer. He's got the biggest mouth of them all. He's the whale shark.
I think Big Slammu looks quite fantastic here. I love the balance of brown and this creamy underbelly looking color he has. Love that we've got these silver little circular ovular fucking shapes on his head. Opening up his mouth, we can see a plethora of teeth, almost looking as if he's missing some. And I mean, he was a football player, so maybe he lost teeth. Oh yeah, we're gonna see some tearage over here at the corners of the mouth, to be expected, but a bit of a bummer. Really not too big a fan of the inside of his mouth being broken up like this. They're obviously two separate pieces, but the color coding we've seen on other Street Sharks figures will be present here. Darker, more maroon color on the bottom, Laffy Taffy pink on the top with some nice detailing. From there, it's rather basic. He's ripped. Dynamite abdominals, crazy huge friggin' back, my god. A lot of gills on that head. And now, for his arms. And I do have to caution fellow Street Sharks collectors who are buying these for themselves and maybe even for their kids. These arms feel significantly cheaper than the rest of the Street Sharks arms. I don't know, maybe it's because they're so big. I mean, the detailing and everything is nice, but these feel extra hollow. The forearms to the hands, those feel like the standard, but these, yeah, they feel a bit on the cheaper side. So do be careful. Minimal detailing on his bicep, but moving into his forearm, his very walnut looking ass forearm, we're gonna get a lot of detail and it's gonna look really nice. Gonna have some sweatbands over here, and here we're going to have an open punch looking fist. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on here at all, but the detailing is nice. Fingernail, fingernail, fingernail. Veiny. And the same will be present for the other arm on every side of which, except this arm is going to have a normal fist. Bro's got big fingers. Moving into the lower half, if I didn't tell you he was a football player before, you'd definitely be able to tell now because he's got the football thigh pads, the pants going on, nice little tennis running cleats, whatever have you. And the detailing over here is quite nice. I really like that we have belt holes on his belt loops for his pants. The tie on his crotchal area is great looking. And while the back of his pants is mostly just wrinkle detail, I still have to give Mattel credit. It looks great. Extra points for making the bottoms of his feet look like actual cleats and still have him be able to stand up. That much I can prove. Hell yeah. I'll give Big Slammu a solid star in terms of paint and detailing. Little bummed at the corners of the mouth and the inside of the mouth in general, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm not going to be looking at the inside of the mouth that much, and when it comes to the corners of the mouth, it's practically just expected now. I had the same problem with Jab, and I believe I had the same problem with Shark Among Us Ripster, so yeah, the rubber. Now for my favorite boy, Streex, or Robert Bobby Bolton Jr. He's the cool and athletic brother who is also rather tech-savvy and can play the drums like nobody's business. Hence why he's kind of known as the cool brother slash a bit of Donatello. He's also the second oldest brother, and he was originally called Blades and Blade. Can you guess why? So Streex over here is my favorite Street Shark, and I have a feeling that's going to be the case for many of people, because I guess Streex at some point just became the face of the franchise. I mean, he's the only one with a Funko Pop, and I believe he was present in nearly every series in the Street Sharks, but I'm a Street Sharks fan, but I am not a super fan. I don't know everything, but how I've always viewed it, he was the face, even though he wasn't the leader. So we are going to get this lovely powdery blue, which is going to be accented with a bit of white for his underbelly over here, or more of a powdery blue, even more powdery. That'll be present on his snoot over here, and he's going to have these purple stripes. Now, can anybody be honest with me? This looks like the friggin' Pop-Tart, don't it? Wildberry, aka one of the best? I think so. But this is apparently why he was renamed to Streex, because of the purple streaks all over his body. He's also a tiger shark, so I guess that helps. Lovely detailing everywhere you look on old Bobby. Wish I could say the same. His back looks incredibly alien and swole and kinda cool. Gills, streaks, bumps, grooves, swole. And Bobby over here, he's inviting you to the gun show. Really dig how his gloves look. I like that we have that raised material with a bit of the stitching details on top of them. And this actually being painted this time, whereas on the original, it was not, or at least the metallic version wasn't. On the inside of the glove, more of that detailing, and we get to see his vibrant orange nails. Who, what, where, how, why, and when? I don't know. Lovely tearing detail too. Same for the other gloved hand over here. Just look at all that. Of all the places I expected detailing, it wasn't here. I'm not sure the other sharks have it, but if you look at the top of his mouth over here, the roof, he's got another line of teeth up there, and lovely detailing as well. The floor of his mouth is going to be that same dark gravyish looking color with very minimal detailing. Yeah, we'll see some detailing on his lips, some detailing on his teeth. Unfortunately, Streex probably has the worst grill out of everybody here for Wave 2. Painting rubber ain't easy. Moving on to Streex' lower half, we are going to have these highlighter yellow jean shorts, I guess, and they are vibrant, just as vibrant as his highlighter orange knee pads. I think it's a pretty cool little detail that you can actually see the tears of the pants as it moves into the more jean-related material. And Streex actually has a bit of a butt crack. So yes, sharks have butt cheeks. And we'll see the back of the knee pads back here and more of his rollerblades, his original namesake. We'll see the buckles and belts and such. We'll see the other designs of the rollerblades in and of themselves. Yes, each rollerblade will have 2 working wheels on them. This actually allows him to stand. Granted, I think he could stand just fine if these were all wheels, but this is something that they did with the original figure. See? It's always been present, and I'm only now noticing that they kept the design on the bottom of the friggin' rollerblades. Look at that. Dude, Mattel, why are you cooking? Basically, Streex is very, very colorful. I'm looking forward to a metallic variant at some point. And despite Dr. Piranoid kind of having all the crazy bells and whistles for this wave, Streex is near and dear to my heart, has been since I was a kid. We share the same name, Bobby. I know that might come off as weird to some of y'all because I'm ShinRobjira, but say Shin Bob. No. So I'm gonna give Streex a solid star in terms of paint and detail. Half a star for these friggin' teeth because, oh my boy. Now let's discuss accessories, and this is gonna be super quick. Streex over here is actually going to come with 2 alternate hands with extended claws. Now you might be asking, why? Well, here is one of the original Street Shark Streex figures. He's got one of these jutting out of his arm. Push that rod in and his nails will come jutting out at you. So instead of keeping the gimmick, they basically just turned it into an accessory, this time just for both hands. I dig it and I appreciate it. They operate like alternate hands for just about any figure except the peg is attached to the wrist. But hey, here's what he looks like with those hands on. Excessive? Absolutely, but I love it. Bro looks like he's trying to be Wolverine, but with carrots in all of his fingers. Solid star. One more to go. Yes, and that is Dr. Piranoid. You might not have noticed, I'm sure you did, but this little fishing hook over here is actually detachable. And I love that the bar that sits in his hand isn't actually cylindrical. It's actually just a flat bar. So unclipping it and getting it out of his hand is quite easy. I really enjoy it. Moving on, I can't discuss his other accessory because I have to save something for gimmicks. Solid star, size comparisons and boxes. Shokugan, movie, King-ish, HG. Oh, I think we just found the Transformers. VHS tapes, OG Sharks, OG Sharks 2, New Sharks 2 plus slash. And here are their boxes, same as last time. Nothing different between them, save for what's on the side and the backs of them. This time I opened them from the bottom. I learned. Thank you to everybody who commented last time, telling me open them from the bottom. Still awesome. Still totally on point. Thank you, Mattel. Now for articulation. So Streex and Big Slammu over here are mostly going to be operating the same. The only differences between them are going to be at the ankles, because clearly his ankles are in rollers blades and his are in shoes. So yeah, to cover a quick gimmick, hold down on this fin, watch the mouth open and the skin crease as it does. Nice. Full swivel at the torso for both. Full rotation at the shoulder blades for both. Can move out at the shoulder, about that far. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about this. Both Streex and Big Slammu over here, their rubber bodies are actually gonna kind of like shoot out towards their shoulder blades over here. Whereas with Ripster and Jab, they just kind of ended and it was just the peg going into the peg hole. Nothing crazy, but I do so enjoy it. We'll get a swivel at the elbow, bend out and back in at the elbow, swivel at the hands, hinge up and down at the hands. Oh, by the way, these battle claws are nice and squishy, so you don't have to worry about poking your eye out. Second verse, yeah. Same as the first, yes. Legs can kick up about that far, back about that far, up about that far, back about that far. Shark fin splits on both sides, hell yes. Streex will have a slight bend at the knee, but hoo boy, look at that swivel. Very nice. Bend in and out for Slammu. Swivel for Slammu. A really nice pivot at the ankle for Slammu. Heck yeah. A nice swivel at the ankle as well. Forgive me for the positioning of my hands. This is a bit of a pain in the ass, but you can point up and you can point down. Pretty good, I feel. Solid star each for articulation, a solid star for Streex with his jaw opening and closing gimmick. Now we have to discuss Big Slammu's other gimmick. That being a very strong and powerful spring-loaded slam. Come on and slam, and welcome to Japan. Dear God, he obliterated female Muto. Solid star. Oh yeah, how could I forget? Streex can roll. Solid star. And regarding Slammu, when it comes to posing his spring-loaded arm up, I'm much too afraid to push the arm back too far to get a click. But if you're patient enough and you gently just coax it up a bit, it will stay in place. It'll probably eventually fall, but if you're taking pictures, you do that. I'm not risking it, I'm sorry. And now to fully discuss Dr. Piranoid and his articulation, which, wow. Up first, ball-jointed torso. Yes, your eyes do not deceive you. Ball-jointed torso. Can lean back about that far, which is pretty far. Can lean forward pretty decently as well. Side-to-side motions as well. And yeah, this is awesome. Just give him the solid star already because it only gets better. At the legs, Dr. Piranoid can do the evil scientist splits. Those legs can kick forward about that far. Back about that far. I mean, seriously, just look at that. Hell yeah. Lovely bend at the knee. Lovely swivel at the knee. A little bit of resistance. And then at the foot over here, or boot, full swivel, as well as a point up and down because, yeah, it's a ball joint over here. Look at that rolling. Oh, a ball jointed torso and ankles. What else could he possibly have? Basic movement at the hooked arm over here. Can move back about that far until that thing stops it. Can move forward about that far before shoulder pad kind of stops it. Make no mistake, that arm can fully swivel. We'll get a lovely bend in and out at the elbow over here. Swivel! A bend in and out at the wrist, plus swivel. His blaster arm can move up about that far, back about that far, and as you saw, a bend at the elbow. Wasn't expecting that, but I also wasn't expecting this. The blaster arm can move out. Holy ass. Out and in, don't you know? Really, really nice. That's not all because this hoopajoob right here can swivel. Yay! And if you couldn't already guess, we can fire the torpedo. Or, harpoon, I think. Spear. Go get him, Han Solo. God damn. There's what it will look like outside of the gun. Very basic. Just match up the shapes, load it back in. I'm sorry, Streex. Never mind. And I just found this out, but the hook can swivel. Once again, a solid star in terms of articulation and a solid star in terms of gimmicks. Now let's check out some posability options. Posability-wise, as far as Big Slammu and Streex over here go, they're a little bit of the same. It's a bit easier this go-around, mostly because I know what to look for. But I'm having an easier time with the knees, an easier time with the ankles, the arms, the bends, the whole 9 yards. It's a good time for the Sharks, but really, it's all about Dr. Piranoid this go around. This is a firecracker of a wave, and I think Mattel are killing it, and I cannot wait to see how they handle Killamari. Now that I've seen Dr. Piranoid with all of his ball-jointian natures and such, I can't wait to see what they do for my boy. But yeah, they're not going to be SH Figure Arts, SH Monster Arts, anything like that. These are very basic releases. It's just now, especially with Piranoid, it's just making me wonder what the Sharks would be like if they were all plastic and not rubber-bodied. I still love them though. It's a great time to be a Street Sharks fan, save for when they were actually coming out. These new updated figures are very faithful, very cool. Yeah, This doesn't have its gimmick or anything like that, but it comes with accessories to mimic it. Mimic the gimmick. I'm happy, and I can't wait for waves 3 and 4. Ravenous Ripster, Moby Lick, Slobster, my boy Killamari. Man-to-Man and Slugger Slammu, it's gonna be a fun 2025, unless they decide to drop Wave 3 in December. Please don't. Little bit of time. Anyway, I've been ShinRobjira. I do so hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time, either here or on the Dr. Snips channel, Big Hobbylink Japan unboxing, and then I'll see you back here for at least 2 out of the few items in that box, and maybe special color SH Monster Arts King Ghidorah. Maybe. I'm tired. I'm losing it, and I'll see you all then. Peace.
Too hot to handle and too cold to hold.